No better interview to bring on than a team that is no stranger to the state championships, and that is Trinity Catholic and head coach John Brantley III. And Trinity Catholic is making the return trip to the Class 1S state championship game on Friday in Tallahassee. And coach, let's talk about this here. Y'all went 3-7 in the regular season, a gauntlet of a schedule, and you're now your Celtics are sitting here one game away from hoisting a state championship for the first time since 2010. And the schedule, last year it's almost pretty much the same schedule that you had last year. You added St. Xavier, but it was a gauntlet of a schedule. And for y'all, a lot of people said, if y'all could run the table, that y'all have a potential chance of winning this state championship. And now y'all are one game away from that. So, talk about that in terms of your guys, going through this gauntlet.
Well, it's been tough, Josh. I got to applaud our coaches and I got to applaud our players for buying in. When you're 3-7 at the end of the season going into the playoffs, it's hard to convince them that there's a plan in place. And it could have easily have been 7-3 versus 3-7 too. We've had our chances in those earlier ball games, but we didn't get it done. But, we went on the road. We started in Key West. Traveled to Cincinnati, went to Jacksonville to play Reigns, went to the Tampa Bay area twice. Our team is, it's ready to get on another bus and head to Tallahassee. So we've had a tough year, but the kids never gave up. They bought into what we were telling them. And if they hung in there and we stayed healthy and got to the playoffs and got to our classification, I thought we had a chance. And, it's come true. And our kids have played their fannies off the last 3 weeks and just had a great game this past week in Naples in our rematch with First Baptist, which is an outstanding, well-coached football team. And that was fun getting back from that game in Naples and getting ready for another good Cardinal Mooney team on Friday.
No, and let's talk about that first game with First Baptist for a moment here. For a lot of your guys who remember what happened last year in the 1S state championship game, it was a chance to get a little bit of a revenge game in a kind of a way, so to speak. Were your guys looking at hey, if we could get this rematch with them, we can show them that hey, we're not the same Trinity Catholic team we were last year in that state championship game? Was that on their mind? If that potential scenario was going to creep up, pop up in the way.
Well, we thought so. Once you started seeing the brackets, the way the rankings were coming out, I knew. I guess you're not given much credit for playing a tough schedule. So we were down in the rankings and stuff like that. And with First Baptist ranked number 1, we felt like we would have to go to First Baptist. So we started preparing for them a little bit earlier. Had a couple of coaches already working on them. And you're right. Our kids left with a bad taste in their mouth in Tallahassee. We did not play well. It's kind of an embarrassing game to play so well during the season and then go up there and perform the way we did. So our kids were ready to get back. We went back to work in January after we got beat in December last year, and our kids were kind of focused on that. And I'm gonna tell you, I gotta hand it to them, and I gotta hand it to our coaching staff. We went down there ready to play football, and it showed, and we played what we're capable of doing. And I'm very proud of those. But no, there was a little bit of a factor in there, but hey, no celebrating down there and anything like that. We enjoyed the evening. We enjoyed the win. But we got back on that bus knowing we got one more. Because I think last year, Josh, that when we beat John Carroll at our place to go to the state championship game, we were dousing coaches and doing all this stuff and probably celebrating a little bit too early, knowing that we've made it to the state championship. And it seemed like we played like we were content with that. Well, this year, our kids enjoyed winning that game, but went in there, got changed, got on the bus, and had that 4.5-hour ride back to Ocala, already thinking about Cardinal Mooney.
No, absolutely. And of course, Cardinal Mooney is going to be y'all's opponent here in the state championship this year. We'll talk about them in a few minutes here about the preparations for Cardinal Mooney on Friday morning. Again, that game's Friday morning in the Class 1S state championship against Cardinal Mooney at Ken Riley Field at Bragg Memorial Stadium on the campus of Florida A&M University. And coach, one quarterback that you had last year, you had Preston Wright. Preston Wright's been playing pretty well here this year for you. And looking at his numbers here, and that he's been playing some good football for y'all. And talk about your offense. Talk about what the expectations are, and in terms of the offense, because you're an offensive minded guy. You're a former quarterback yourself, so talk about that, and being able to get your guys ready on the offensive side of the ball.
Well, going back to Preston, like you said, Preston's really come on the second half of this season and performed the way he did, ended up last year, and that's been a key. I mean, his confidence has gotten is stepped up after we went through that little schedule in the middle of the season where we were playing outstanding defenses and playing good team, but from the district championship on, he has played lights out at quarterback position. But here again, we've got a good offensive line that we lean on. We haven't had that back we've had the last 3 years that I've had at Trinity, from Bo Beard and Jamarian Samuel, the guys that's cowbell that you could hand it and get 3 and 4 yards. We hadn't had that. But I tell you what, we've had a couple of injuries at the running back position, and Austin Holder started in the first playoff game for us at running back, and he has been a delightful surprise and helped our running game, because as you know, for your passing game to do what it needs to do, you need to run the ball a little bit. And he's gone 155 and 146 yards in the last 2 playoff games. Austin Holder's been a pleasant surprise for us, and that's really helped bring our offense together.
No, absolutely, and that's critical here. But when you're looking at your defense, I mean, your defense, I gotta say, 58.5 sacks of what I see so far on the numbers. I'm sure that's going to be added once the stats from First Baptist are added in totally. But I mean, your guys are racking up sacks. That's huge right there. That's important, because if your defense is playing well, that's going to help your offense. Obviously, get the ball and be able to do things. And talk about the defense, what they're being able to do this year. I mean, you got two guys alone here that are in double digits in sacks.
Well, Coach Young's done a nice job with our defense. It started out, with a lot of work, and hadn't been our best side of the ball this year. But I tell you what, over the past 6 weeks, they have improved immensely and doing a great job in controlling some of these good football teams at FBA. They had an outstanding quarterback, had 2 to 3 receivers that were phenomenal, a good running back. And for them to go down in Naples in their backyard and kind of shut them down, at least keep them under control. I know they still got 36 points, but they got 2 late touchdowns. But our defense played lights out down there in Naples. But no, they've done well. We added a couple pieces to the year. With a good linebacker in Jacob Dyer, and those 2 defensive ends you're talking about, Amani Armstrong and Zach Johnson. They've been fantastic all year. So got to give it to the defensive staff, the coaches. They've hung in there, made these kids believe if you could survive our schedule, stay healthy, the defense was only going to get better, and they have. And I look for them to have a good game on Friday as well.
No, absolutely, and of course, in looking at the number of interceptions here, y'all are in double digits in interceptions. But Courtney Patterson, I mean, he's been balling out. He's only a junior, but he's sitting there getting interest in what makes him, because he's special because of his abilities to cause trouble there in the secondary.
Well, he's a tremendous athlete, number one, but he's got 2 older brothers that played college. So he's the baby in the bunch. So he's been watching them and following them, watching film. So he's had 2 good role models, before him and his family. So very instinctively, he gets over there and makes it happen. Sometimes gets him in trouble because he wants to be a hero, but you got to play within the system. So we got to keep draw him back in every now and then. But he's a playmaker, and he's had a super year.
No, absolutely. And let's talk about this. What have you seen about Cardinal Mooney that, hey, this is what we got to prepare for? Cardinal Mooney playing in their first state championship game since 1972. So that's a long time since they have last played in a state title game. So, y'all are coming in with in terms of the more experienced side of things when it comes to a team that's been in a state championship game. So, what do you see about Cardinal Mooney that y'all have had to get ready for here?
Well, we've yet to see Cardinal Mooney over the years that I've been here. So this is my first experience with him, and I've been around a little bit. But no, what I see, a little bit of Trinity. I see big up front. They're big offensively up front and try and control the ball. Got a great running back, got a 2-quarterback system, it looks like. One runs the ball real well, and then they got athletes all over the field. So we got our work cut out for us, Josh. I mean, this is a good Cardinal Mooney team, and I know they got a lot of confidence. And they've played some good teams, Bishop Verot and Riverview down there. So they've played some good competition as well. So we got our work cut out for us. And but I've been more concerned about what we can do and looking at them. So I'm focusing more on our team than theirs. But it's a good looking bunch to watch when you look at them closely.
No, absolutely. And of course, looking at it here, Coach, the state championship games are on the college campus for the first time in a long time. So how do you feel about that as your former self, as you as a former, quarterback, that played in the college ranks, being able to, that was something that you didn't when you were in your high school career. They didn't have, going to college campus. Y'all were playing neutral site games somewhere in the middle for state championship games. So,
Josh, I'll take you back when I played won it my senior year at Ocala Forest. You did it home and away, and it's just according how the year the brackets worked out. And we played all three of our games, playoff games, at home, and the state championship was at home in Ocala at Booster Stadium against Hollywood Chaminade, with all the Shula boys were there. So it has changed a lot since then and everything. But no, we're excited. I mean, you just tell us where to go. If you told me we're in a state championship, I'll go anywhere. So we're just glad to be back there and hopefully have a chance to at least play a lot better than we did last year and make amends for that, because I know our kids are excited.
Are y'all coming up the day before?
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna try. We did that for that 1:00 game. We came up the day ahead, which was probably the smart thing to do. But no, when you got a 10:00 start and you're going to open up the doors at 8:00 over there, and you got to be off the practice. You got to be off the field by 9:30. So we're going up. We're having a little pep rally here right after lunch, and they're going to have a send-off for us. So we're going to get to Tallahassee about 5:30 on Thursday and go have a nice meal and get ready to play a good football game.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the Trinity Catholic. Trinity Catholic is playing in the Class 1S state championship game Friday morning at 10:00 against Cardinal Mooney out of Sarasota. They're at Ken Riley Field at Bragg Memorial Stadium on the campus of Florida A&M University. And Coach, congratulations on getting to the state championship game for the second straight year. And we'll see you Friday morning in Tallahassee.
Well, Josh, it's kind of unique. Somebody just threw out a stat at me. Didn't know we're I think the first sub 500 team.
That is correct.
Championship. So I don't know if that's good coaching or what you call it. I don't know. Real bad,
I think that's good coaching.
It's either real bad scheduling or something, but we're glad to be back there, and we're going to represent Ocala and Marion County.
No, it'll be the first time if y'all win the state championship. It'd be the first time a team y'all go 7-7 coming in the state, go regular season 3-7. It would be the first time that's ever happened in this state of Florida history. So we'll see what happens come Friday morning in the Class 1S state championship game, Coach. And again, congratulations and best of luck.
Well, Josh, thank you, and appreciate what you do for high school football.
Thank you. That was head coach John Brantley from the Trinity Catholic Celtics here, joining us here on FloydHSFootball.com. Stay tuned to FloydHSFootball.com for more content from the state championships and coming up here from Tallahassee this weekend. Until then, see you later.